So it's a new year, and on this week's edition, we're going to tell you about a new business that just opened up here in the city of Fredericksburg that might help with your relaxation and stress levels. So on this week's edition, I'm with Stacy Garcia at 431 Progress Street. This is home to Float Fredericksburg, a new business that opened in late 2021. And so we asked Stacy to tell us a little bit about what Float Fredericksburg is, and she's also joined here today by her French bulldog, Elwood. So Stacy, first of all, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So why don't you tell us about Float Fredericksburg? What is it?
Float Fredericksburg is a private, members-only float club. And the reason for doing that is because I'm trying to encourage people to float regularly. Floating is the practice of putting yourself in water with 10 inches having dissolved into it 1,500 pounds of Epsom salt. So the body is completely buoyant in that water and absorbing a lot of magnesium. It's a very relaxing atmosphere. So when you come out, you feel great. And that's one of the beauties of doing it. But the other beauty of doing it, if you can do it regularly, like weekly, is you really start to notice that the benefits of it carry over into your everyday life. You start to just be more relaxed in everything that you do, and then the nutrition, of course, benefits as well. And I start to see benefits in that for myself, and I think other people must have too, because this is starting to pop up everywhere, I think.
Yeah. So the water, you were telling me earlier, is set at like 93.5.
93.5 degrees, give or take a degree and a half. It contains itself, cleans itself. Everything is self-contained within the unit.
And you typically soak for what? How long?
60 minutes, 90 minutes. I found when I first started floating especially, that 90 minutes was really helpful because it took an hour for my brain just to let go. And then in that last 30 minutes, I found a really extra set of relaxation in that last 30 minutes. So the 90 minutes was beneficial for that.
And you recommend it for sort of anyone. It can have medicinal purposes.
For anyone. But if you're in pain, it's going to take away your pain. It is a muscle relaxant, that heavy dose of magnesium. And there's no gravity affecting everything in there. So you're putting your body in there and you're allowing for it to go back into its natural state. All of those injuries you've experienced, all that gravity that is pulling on you all the time isn't in there. And your body can go back into that natural original position and allow those nerves and those tendons to start to wake up and feel. And that's why when you come out, you just feel better than you've ever felt.
So I know you're a former defense attorney, and then you came up with this idea. How did you talk through, I guess, sort of how you came up with that idea and made that transition?
Well, after being a defense attorney for 20 years, my stress levels were exceedingly high. And so I found floating as a result of a friend who reached out and had heard about it from another friend, and they were in Seattle and said, hey, come on, I found it in Richmond, try it with me. Okay, so I tried it, and I thought, well, this is great. They recommended 3 in 3 weeks, and so I said, okay, I'll do 3 in 3 weeks, but I really didn't think that much of it. The third time I did it, though, was 90 minutes, and that was the first time I had done the 90 minutes, and I found that relaxation place, and I knew I had really found something amazing. And so I started doing it really regularly, going on the weekends, and it just kept benefiting me more and more is how it felt to me. I just was more grounded during the week. And as I kept doing all these drives, they're an hour each way, I'm thinking about how can I make this more accessible to everyone. I was planning little trips at the time. I would take friends for Sunday brunches, and we'd all go on a Sunday. But how can I do it here? And so my idea was to actually add on to this building originally. I have the architectural plans to expand the law office. But once COVID came, it seemed like this needed to happen sooner. People needed to be healthier. They needed the nutrition. They needed to relax. And so I sort of downshifted my creativity of it all and made it a little more compact and converted the law life into a float life and decided it was time to leave the law career, convert the law office itself into a flotation center.
So now there's a flotation unit back here that runs on electricity, and you've got a pretty sophisticated filtration system.
Correct. Shower units all built in, everything designed so you can have the perfect float experience.
Great. Well, someone who's interested in finding out more, interested in possibly signing up.
floatfredericksburg.com. And call 361-1420. That's the number here. I'm almost always here. And if not, there's a message machine, and I'll get back to you right away. And I'm trying to make it as flexible as possible. So when folks are members, then they have my cell number. They can text me, hey, I just got out of court or whatever. Can I come in 30 minutes? And I try and get people in that sort of flexibility so that they can work it into their schedule. That was the creation of this as I was driving, is how can I make this more useful to all the busy people that could really benefit.
Yeah. Great. Stacy, congratulations on the new business, and encourage people to come try it out. Again, 431 Progress Street, which is between Fall Hill Avenue and Princess Anne Street, near the former PNC Bank branch. Stacy, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Bill.
And that'll do it for this week's edition. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Fred Focus newsletter, and we'll keep you up to date on all the great things happening in the city of Fredericksburg. See you next week.